Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time we're going to discuss about a different data type. Last time we talked about integers, and we're going to talk about doubles. Alright guys, so welcome back. So we're going to talk about doubles instead of integers this time. And instead of me creating a new project, we're just going to use the existing project. I'll show you a couple different ways that we could do it. We could use the existing label, and I'll show you how that works. And we could just change the values around, comment some code out. We could also show you a different way that we can add an additional label and kind of recreate some of the processes and go through the double. So like I said, this week is to kind of get a refresher on the different data types that you deal with programming itself. Normally, this is something that you'd learn in class like week 1 or week 2 or something like this. So this is a good refresher, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's move on. All right, so this is our existing thing that we had before. So if we were going to do a double, we could come over to, where am I at? Right here. We could come down here and I'll put a comment here, doubles. And we can do something like this. We could do, you do double, because it's a double. Now a double is, when would you use a double? You would use it if you're using something with money, anything with a decimal point. It could be anything with a grade point average. Let's say your grade point average is a 3.75 or 3.8454, something like that. So we'll say double, and we'll say, instead of player 1, we'll do player 3, and we'll do double player 4, and kind of keep it at that standpoint, okay? So we will now go over to the view controller M. So we already have our header here and we create it. So we're going to come over here and just add some values to it. So we should be able to say player 3 equals, we'll say 122.50. All right. And let's say, maybe I should have did something else. You know what, let's go back. Let's change this. I'm going to change the value around. So let's go to header. And let's say salary 1. And we'll use money. Salary 2. I think that'd be better. Alright, so now we'll come back over here. We'll say these players have a salary. So salary 1 equals, we'll say per day is 180.50, and then for salary 2 equals we'll say 499 cents. All right, so now what we did is we took those values from the header and moved them over here in the main, and we assigned the value here for that value. So now we need to come up with something similar to this. So let's say that we came up with a double total. We give it the variable type of total, and we'll say equals salary, salary, I can't add or spell. We'll say salary 1 plus salary 2, and what we'll do is we'll times it by 3. Okay, so we'll just add an extra case in there. All right, so right now what we can do is, it's telling me unused variable because we haven't used it yet. So we'll put algorithm for salaries. All right. Now what we need to do is we need to display it. Now we're currently, if we go over to storyboard, we're currently using this label for this. So what we can do is a couple things. We could reuse that label, and how we would do it is we'd want to comment this out and use this label, but we could try it and see if it'll allow us to code it. So we'll do, it'll be a little bit different. We'll do salary or self dot label dot text equals pretty much the same string with format. Now the format is going to be a little different. Now when we use the integer, we use the D. So in this case, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the @ symbol here, and we're going to do a quotation mark percentage, same thing. Only thing is we're going to do a dot 3F. You could do 4F, It depends on how many decimal points that you want to provide. In this case, I'm saying I'm providing 3 decimals. And then what I'm going to do here is I call it total. I'm going to do total and then display it. Now let's see if it actually lets us do this, because what we're saying is the first time we want you to give score, and the second time we want you to do total. So let's see what happens. So let's run it. Yeah, I have to stop it because I didn't do it before. So it succeeded, it accepted the code, but let's see what happens. So you notice what happens here? It gives me the double versus the integer. And what do you think that is? Now, if we're in class, I'd ask a question, but we're not in class. So what happens is it runs this one first, and then it goes to this one, because programming goes in order. So first thing it does is this, but we don't see that. All we see is the last thing it does. Okay, now we could come down here and comment this out, and then let's say we want to run it again. Yeah, sure, stop. Runs perfectly fine. No problem, we could do that. Now, let's get a little tricky here. Let's say that, you know, let's see here, we have 3 places. It's 3 decimal points. So let's say that we wanted to do 4. We put a 4 instead of a 3. So let me stop it, run it. We should have 4 decimal points. See what I mean? So the reason you want this is only, in majority of the time you'll have 2, but this is only if you're doing some long equation and somebody in data development, sometimes you want to see everything. You want to see every number. Analysts want to see that for some reason. So it depends on their situation. So you know what? I'm actually going to go to 2 because 2 is more legit, more reasonable, more, you know, what we're looking for in this case. So it should have perfect 1383.47. So let's say that we wanted to display both information on there. So not only do we want the score, but we also want how much money they made. Okay. So what we'll do here is we'll take this here. We'll just change this around a little bit. We'll come up with the storyboard, and we'll come down here and add another label. See if we could add another label here, and see if we could. I'll just put it right here and then center it. And this label will be a different label value. So this one's label, and let's see here. We'll call this one label 2. Okay, because we don't want to have the same value, or we'd be in trouble. So then we'll come over, oops, here, and we want to have, what we want to do is create a new property. So you know how we have this property here? We want to create one below it somewhere. So remember, if you hit Control and click and come down here, this is fine. Oops, what did I do? All right, come on. Let's try this again. Did not want me to do it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Alrighty, 1 second. Cannot find my mouse. Alright, I lost my mouse here. I couldn't find it. Alright, so let's try this again. For some reason it's not allowing me to add it here, so let's try this. Let's click on it. See, it won't let me add it here or here, so let's put it above here. And let's call it label 2. Now you see it already assigns it UI label, which is good. Hit connect. All right, so I guess, you know what? I see what it is, because we already have an end here and it can't go past the end. But, let's see how this works, because we might have to add an end here. Let's see what happens when I do that, because that's how it should. End must appear in Objective C, so it can have multiple ends. Alright, so we're going to test this out and see how it works, because This is different. They've changed something. Before you would have multiple ends. Alright, so let's see. We'll see if it works. That's the important thing. If it works, then that's something new that they've changed. Alright, so let's call this label 2. So let's see if it even comes up. So if we do self.label, okay, it does pull up label 2 dot text. Alright, perfect. Alright, so let's see if this works. This would be a good test. Alright, so it's succeeded, but does it actually work? It does work. So learn something new there. So we have our score up here, and then we have our decimal down here. Now it doesn't look like something fancy, but you know it's a double. So it's how we displayed a couple different things on the screen. So we're getting a little bit better at this. So first lesson was integers. This one was doubles. Next video we'll talk about different data type, and then we'll move there. And then what I'll do is I'll present you guys one assignment this week, and for week 2 it'll be something based off of what we learned. We'll just add something to it and modify some stuff around, but we'll make it pretty quick and simple, but you know, based off of something that you learn. Have any questions? You know how to reach me. You could reach me on my YouTube channel. You could contact me via the college email or through the discussion board. Thanks for watching and listening, and have a great day. Until the next video.